this video, I'm going to explain you what is a class, what is an object, and what are the instance variables, instance methods, static variables and static methods. So first, what is a class? These are the main principles of Java programming language. Without knowing what is a class and what is an object, we cannot do a programming in Java. So, what is a class? Class means a group of objects. I told you that a class means a group of objects. Means we cannot see a class. It's a logical structure. Just a class is nothing but a logical structure. Then what is an object? Object is an instance of a class. We have seen the definition from many websites, and in the many books they have written like object is an instance of a class which exists physically. Class doesn't exist physically. So now, can you tell me about the building? So whatever the building, so your house is there, right? So is that a class or an object? Based on the definitions which I have given you, class means which we cannot see physically. Object means which we can see physically. Can you tell me what is now a building, a class or an object? So are we seeing an object, right? Yes. Means are we seeing this building? Yes, we are seeing the building, obviously. Means the building is an object. So what is a class? Object compulsory. For each and every object there should be a class. Without the class there is no object. Remember that point. Without the object, without the class there is no object. So now building is there. What is a class for that building? Think. What is a class? Yes, a building plan is there, right? Building plan is a class. Can we see a building plan physically? Can we touch the building plan? We cannot. This is our logical structure of our building. That means the main entrance should be here, the bedroom should be there, the kitchen should be there. Our logical thing was presented in a paper, right? So by seeing that we will construct a building. Can we, if we have one plan with me, can I construct n number of buildings with the same plan, right? By changing some properties like length and width, I can construct n number of buildings with the same plan by changing some properties. So that's why I told you that a class is nothing but a group of objects. So for one plan I am constructing n number of buildings. All these buildings belongs to a class called that building plan. So if I have another building plan, I can construct another number of buildings. Those buildings belongs to the particular building plan 2. Have you got the definition now? What is a class? Class is nothing but a group of objects. And some more examples I'll give you here. Flower. Is a flower class or an object? Some of you may say that flower is an object because I can see the flower. See here. Remember one. Are you seeing a flower or are you able to see a lotus flower, a rose, a lily, like that? So if we say flower, in our mind we will have some characteristics like it will have some smell, it will have some color, and it will have some shape. It will have petals. So what are the objects? Means lotus, I can touch the lotus, I can touch the lily, I can touch the rose. All these are the objects. These objects belongs to which class? Flower class. Let me give another example for this class and object. Car. Is car a class or an object? Obviously you will say that car is an object, right? Is the car an object? No, car is not an object. Car is a class. We cannot see the car. We can see the brands of the car like Fortuner, Scorpio, Maruti. I can see those. So by saying a car, we will get like it will have 4 wheels, it have steering, and it has some color and it has some properties, right? So car is a class and objects are different types of cars, comes under the car class. So have you got the definition of class? Means a group of, I can say that a group of related a group of objects comes under the class. What is an object? The object is an instance of a class. It came from a class. So we can create, if I have one class means I can create a number of objects. This is a class means which doesn't exist physically. Object means which exists physically. We can touch, we can feel, we can sense, everything we can see. Okay. Now let us see with our programming how to create a class and how to create an object. To create a class, we have to use class keyword. We have seen we have seen a number of examples, right, in the previous videos. Now how to create a class? We have to create a class using a class keyword. How to create an object? We have to create an object with a new keyword. New. Let me show this with an example. So here I am taking one package. Basics I am taking, and in the basics I am taking one class. I want this main method also. So this is the way how we have to write a class. Class name, open and close. This is, now I don't want this main method. Remove it. This is a class. How we have to write a class? Class ex, and we have to close it. This class. And now have to create an object for this class. Let us, I am taking another class. I am taking as a main ex. Always the class name should start with a capital letter. Let us assume that this is a main ex. Now how many classes I have here? 2 classes, main ex and class ex. Now I want to create an object for this main ex class. I want to create an object. How I will create an object? Using a new keyword. First here you have to write class name, some reference name. See the syntax here. Some reference name equal to new class name. This is the way how we have to create an object. Class name, some reference name equal to new class name. See what is the class name now? Main ex and reference name equal to new main ex. This is the way how we have to create an object. Now I want to create another object the same way. So here you should not use same references. Like that I can create a number of objects with the different names. So here how many objects I have created? I have created M, M1, M2, M3, M4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objects I have created. All these objects belongs to which class? To the class EX or main EX? These objects all belong to this main EX, not to the class EX. Remember this. I have two classes here. All these objects are belongs to main EX class. Like this I can create n number of objects. So class means a group of objects. Object means it came from a class, instance of a class. How you will create a class? With the class keyword. How you will create an object? With the new keyword. I will explain you why we have used these braces in next sessions. As of now, what is the structure to create an object? Class name, some reference name equal to new keyword, and class name with the open and close braces. This is the way how we have to create a class and object. Hope you understand what is a class, what is an object. Class means a group of object which doesn't exist physically. Object means instance of a class which exists physically. Here we will learn about instance variables, instance methods, static variables and static methods. First we will learn about instance variables and instance methods. Instance variables and methods, these will be declared inside a class. Instance variables and instance methods are declared inside a class. See here. Here inside the class I have declared two instance variables and one method. So if I declare a variable inside a method, this is called local variables. We have three types of variables: instance variables, local variables and a static variables. Instance variables which are declared inside a class, and the local variables means which are declared inside a method. We will see static variables within a minute later. So now this is an instance variable and this is an instance variable, and this is instance method. So if you want to access these variables and these methods outside of a class, so this is inside, right? If I want to access outside of the class, compulsory I have to create an object. Otherwise I cannot access those variables. Without creating an object, I cannot access the instance variables and instance methods. Remember this point. Now I want to call this a value outside of the class. This is a outside of the class. In the class EX, I want to use this a variable. Can I use directly here a? Here it is giving me an error saying a cannot be resolved to a type. It doesn't know what the a value is. If I want to use the a value outside of the class, what I told you, I have to create an object first. Compulsory I have to create an object. Now I have created an object main EX m equal to new main EX. Now how to call the variables? With the reference name m dot a. So here I am calling here m dot a. If I want to print this m dot a, system dot out dot println. So here I am giving an access specifier public. So here m dot a means I can access. What is the value of m dot a? 10. Now I want to call the method. So here m dot, what is the method name? m1. Like this I have to call the instance variables and instance methods. Now I am creating another object. I am creating another object with the m2. So here I have to call m2.a and m2.m1. Like this I have to call, because is instance variables and instance methods. For each object there will be a new copy will be there. For each, if I change a value here m dot a as, let me explain you this with a diagram. I have created here three objects, object 1, object 2 and object 3. I told you that instance variables, instance means for each and every object there will be a separate copy. Separate copy will be there for each and every object. And the object 1 it has its own copy, object 2 has its own copy and object 3 has its own copy. If I change the values of A and B in object 1, that won't be reflected in object 2. So coming to the general example, and suppose consider one apartment, right? Take one apartment. We have a flats 101 and 102 was there. So 101 has its own properties, like it has its windows, it has its door, and it has the wall color will be different compared to the 102, right? And 102 has its own properties. Its set of properties will be there for the 10 flat 2. Now I changed a wall color in 101. So initially it was white. Now I change it to blue. Will it reflect in 102? No, right? Because 102 has its own set of things. 101 has its own set of things. If I change anything, and suppose if I remove one window in 101, it won't affect for the 102. Got my point? In the same way here also, if I change any values in object 1, that won't reflect to the other objects because it has its own copies. They will use their own copies. They won't use the other object copies here. Instance means for each and every object there is a separate copy. So come to our example again. Here what is the value of A? 10. Initially the value of A is 10 and B is 20. Here I have created two objects. Now I am changing the value and the first object m dot A equal to, I am changing it as 40. Now I am printing this. So here initially before the changing the value is 10. After the changing the value will become 40. Here m dot 1. Let me write 1 printed. In M1. Clear? So can you tell me the output of this program? So as I told you that our execution starts from a main method. So the cursor will come here. Now what is this line will do? It will create an object for this main EX. System.out.println of m.a. We have to call the instance variables with the reference name. After creating an object, we have to call with that reference name m.a. Because I told you here, right? This is object 1. If I want to call this A, object 1 dot A, object 1 dot B, object 1 dot M1. If I want to call these variables, object 2 dot A, object 2 dot B, object 2 dot M1. Here object 3 dot A, object 3 dot B and object 3 dot M1. Similarly here also m dot A. What is the value of A here? 10. Now I change the value of A to 40. Now what is the value of m dot A? 40. Now I am calling the m dot m1. M dot mn, this method will execute. So output is in m1. Next I am creating a second object with the name m2. I am calling m2 dot a. In the m1 I change the a value as 40. Will it reflect on the m2? No, it won't reflect because m1 is a separate copy and m2 is a separate copy. Now run the program. So here 10, after changing the value became 40 in m1, and next I am created another object 10 and in method was called in m1. So you have to remember that instance variables means instance variables or instance methods which we write inside a class are called instance variables and instance methods. And if compulsory to access those instance variables and objects, we have to create an object. For each and every object there is a new call. Next, static. Static variables and static methods. These static variables and static methods will also return inside a class but with the keyword static. So compulsory we use static to write the static variables and the static methods. For instance, we are not using any keyword. This is the way we can differentiate the instance variables and the static variables and static methods. The static things compulsory use a static keyword. Instance variables, there is no specific keyword for the instance. So now I told you that objects will have a separate copy. For each object there will be a separate copy, but static things doesn't have a separate copy. There will be only one copy that should be shared by all the objects. Remember that. Instance means for each and every object there is a separate copy. For static means only one copy will be there that should be shared by all the objects. If any object changes that static variable means automatically that will reflect to all the remaining objects. Coming to the general example, I told you for an instance, right? If we change a paint color in one flat, that won't be reflected in another flat. If suppose a clubhouse is there, the clubhouse is a common property that should be shared by all the flat members, right? So if I change any things in a clubhouse, like the timings or whatever it is, will it reflect to all the flat members or not? Right? It's a common property. If I change anything means that will be affected for all the methods. The similar way here also static is a public one. If any object change the value of that static variable means that will be reflected on all the objects. But whereas coming to the instance, there won't be any reflection because there is a separate copy for each object. So I'll tell you the static using an example. And one more thing, to access these static variables and static methods, no need of creating an object. Directly we can call with the class name. But for the instance, compulsory we have to create an object. Otherwise we cannot use the instance variables and instance methods. So to write the static variables compulsory we have to use a keyword static. Static int d equal to 80. I am taking here two static variables and these are the instance variables. Instance variables and static variables will be declared inside a class. So static, or we should declare the static variables with a static keyword. Instance variables, there is no specific key for this instance variables. This is the way how we can by seeing this we can differentiate the instance variables and the static variables. So here how many instance methods is there? Only one method. Now I will write a static method, public static void m2. So here I am changing it as in instance in static. So total in class main X I have two instance variables, two static variables, one instance method and one static method. So do we require an object to call these static variables and static methods? No. Directly I can access with the class name. See, without creating an object, I can directly call. Which variable I have to use here? D, E and M2 with the class name. Directly I can call with the class name. Main EX dot, see here, I can use D and E variables. D. Main EX dot E. Like this, I have to call the static variables. Here I want to print this. So, to call the method directly, I can use with the class name dot M2. Can I call here M1? See here, if I call M1 with the class name, what will happen? I'll get an error saying that main EX cannot be resolved. It doesn't know what M1 is because it is an instance method. Instance method means compulsory we have to create an object like this. After creating an object, then only I can call this M1 method. Clear? So without creating an object, I cannot access the instance variables and the instance methods. So for these static variables, I can call directly with the class name, and only one copy will be available. If there is any change, means that will be reflected in that copy. Now see here, I am trying to change the D value with M dot D equal to, I can call with the reference also. No problem, I am changing it to 100. Initially, what is the D value here? What is the D value here? 80, right? After changing, here I will print again this statement. After. Here after changing, I am trying to print this. Now, this is before changing. So here in my class, I have two instance variables, two static variables, one instance method and one static method. So our execution starts from a main method. So here I am accessing the static things. How to access the static things? Directly with the class name main EX. What is the class name here? Main EX. Main EX dot D, main EX dot E and main EX dot M2 method. Now I want to access the instance variables and instance methods. To access the instance variables and instance methods, compulsory we have to create an object. So first I have created an object. Then using that reference name, I am calling the instance variables like A and B. Here we didn't call it M dot A, and here I am calling the instance method M1. And we can call the static variables with the reference also, but there will be no change. The same main EX dot M2 means the same object will be, the same copy will be called. If we call with the reference also, that same copy will be called, because here we will have only one copy. If we change the value of that static things, means it will be reflected in all the objects. And now see the output. So here we will get a, initially what is the value of D? Before 80 we will get, E means 90 we will get. So this M2 will be printed, in static will be printed. Next, what is the value here? 10. Now I change it to 40, and now I am changing the value of a static M dot D as 100. Now I am printing the A value and I am calling the instance method, and here I am printing the D value. Well, the D value will change? Yes, obviously it will change. See here. Finally, the D value. After changing the value, I got 100. Before it was 80. After that, it was 100. This is the way how we have to use a static variables, static methods, instance variables and instance methods. So, let me conclude it once more. Instance variables and instance methods. Instance variables and instance methods we will write inside a class. For each and every object there will be a separate copy. If you want to access those variables and the methods, compulsory we have to create an object. Then only we can access the instance variables and the static variables. Other than that we cannot access directly without creating an object. Static variables and the static methods. Static variables and static methods also be declared inside a class with a keyword called static. For these, to access the static variables and static methods, there is no point of creating an object. Directly we can access the class static variables and static methods with a class name. There will be only one copy available that should be shared by all the objects of that class. If any object modified that value means that will be reflected for the other objects also. So static is a common global variable. That's why we call a static as a class level variables. That is this belongs to a class. Single copy is available that should be shared by all objects. So we call these static variables and static methods as class level variables and class level methods. Instance variables and instance methods, that the restriction for these is to a particular object. So instance variables and instance methods are known as object level variables and object level methods.